Welcome to the EQ Fit podcast. Our mission is to equip people to prosper in every aspect of their life. Whether you're at home or in the workplace, we explore practical ways of improving success, satisfaction, finding balance, and building enjoyable and beneficial relationships. Thank you for joining us. So as we continue our series on tools, primarily assessment tools, that can be extremely helpful both in our personal lives and in our work lives, I want to focus first on something that we're all experiencing. And it's normal, but the pace of it is speeding up. You might guess what I'm thinking about. Change. What comes to your mind when I say that word? Is it excitement or maybe fear? Is it anxiety or curiosity? Is it judgment? There's so many different emotions attached to change. You know, the past few years, it seems like change is just overwhelming. So much has changed. The workplace has changed. The way we live our lives has changed. The economic conditions have changed, which impacts all of us. There are so many things going on in our world that are changing, and all of those changes have an impact. The pace of change just keeps accelerating. The amount of data in the world doubles every 9 months. Think about that a minute. The amount of data in the world doubles about every 9 months. How can we possibly keep up with that? Change is everywhere. It's all around us. Well, let's talk about how to navigate change. And eventually, we'll get into the measures of change and change readiness. But let's start with some recent research that has led us to some new thoughts around how to navigate change in a good way, in a way that will help us and empower us to do more. There are some key takeaways from that research. Number one, we need to become more change embracing. Now, we don't have to accept every change that comes along. That's not what I'm saying. But our attitude toward change can either help us or it can hurt us. Do we look at change as an opportunity, or is it a problem or a challenge? Our mindset has a huge impact on how we experience change. So that's the place we can start. Become more change embracing. Number two, change can evoke strong emotions in people. Emotions are simply neurotransmitters that our brain generates to send us messages about what we're experiencing. So we can't really control the emotions when they happen, but what we can do is build a skill set to manage and navigate those emotions for better outcomes. That skill set is emotional intelligence, and the measure of it is called EQ, or emotional quotient. And I've got some videos on our YouTube channel. Just go to YouTube at EQ Fit and check out those videos on change. Number three, we can create a decision process for navigating change. So what do I mean by a decision process? Think of this as a set of filters that we use to either screen change in or to screen it out. Those changes that we screen in, we can then explore further to see if it's a change we want to adopt, which may include modifying it or revising it so it meets our needs, so it's more customized to ourselves. So having a decision process will really help us navigate change. Which changes do we really consider? Which ones don't we consider? And number 4, create a process to integrate the changes that you believe are beneficial. I use a very simple process that has proven very successful over the years. The first thing I do is I assess the change. Is it a change that will bring benefit to me and those around me? Is it something that has value and that will maybe even upgrade something that I'm already doing? So I start with assessing the change. Then, if I decide that it is beneficial and valuable, I start to equip myself with what I need to address that change and bring it in to what I want to do. And then I align all of that so that it's going the right direction for me. Assess what the change is and what value it brings. Equip by gathering the needed resources, the learning you need, and the tools you need for integrating the change. And then align the change effort to meet personal and professional goals. Those 4 things can create within us a better way to navigate change. What do we do next? One key concept I use in my coaching, in my training, in my facilitation, is leading through change. Literally leading through change. If you think of any change effort as a leadership effort, then it becomes easier to make the desired changes. Whether you're leading yourself or whether you're leading other people, leading is the key to successful change efforts. So, how does that work? A very good friend of mine, Alison from Australia, in partnership with 6 Seconds, has created an amazing assessment that walks people through how to enhance their ability to lead through change. The assessment report starts with an explanation of what leadership looks like in today's world. When change is a part of everyday life, that impacts how we lead, both ourselves and other people. Then the report goes into an agile leadership framework. Now, I know agile is a word that is probably overused, but the way that Alison has put this together is very impressive. Let me walk you through Agile, the acronym, and listen to this framework for leading yourself or leading others through change. First is A for awareness, a regular practice of honest, vulnerable self-reflection and a commitment to challenge autopilot leadership and connect mindfully with emotions. A grounded presence that allows you to pay attention to your values and beliefs, as well as limiting beliefs, blind spots, and biases, challenge judgment, and embrace empathy. That's awareness. What does the G in Agile stand for? Generosity. Seeing the potential in others and building trust through values-driven leadership. Showing up with integrity, honesty, and authenticity in a way that intrinsically motivates others. Trust is a primary emotion, and building trust a critical core skill of agile change leadership. That's the G in Agile. What's the I? Insight. Growing a coaching approach to leadership, embracing curiosity, and asking more questions than providing solutions. Recognizing that people thrive when given the opportunity to do their own thinking around challenges. To foster emotionally safe environments where people feel comfortable taking risks, and mistakes are celebrated as opportunities for learning. The L in Agile stands for love of learning, an appreciation of the rapid turnover of information and the benefits from tapping into innovative thinking through imagination and a lifelong love of seeking new information and perspectives from multiple sources. As an Agile change leader, you recognize that people have different talents and strengths at all levels of organizations, and through connecting and caring for your people, you will better understand their emotional needs. And the last letter, the E, stands for energy. Bringing presence and giving your fullest attention to people so they feel heard. Sensing which EQ competencies to access to energize yourself and others. Drawing on multiple skills to positively fuel the change cycle. Understanding when and how to pivot, to lead well through uncertainty and risk. Now, this is a part of what's called the SEI, SEI-LTC, 6 Seconds Emotional Intelligence Leading Through Change. It's a very powerful assessment with kind of some amazing measures in it. And I'm looking at one right now, and where we start with measures is in the success factors. And the very first measure is unique because it is a measure of the person's change readiness. How ready is that person to embrace change? Again, not every change that comes along, but change that is beneficial. Now, what's interesting with this score is pre-COVID, these scores were pretty normed in the mid-range. Post-COVID, there's seen a drop in the average scores, and they were more in the challenge and emerging areas instead of the functional area or higher. So change readiness is a unique score that I use in almost everything that I do. Pre-hire assessments, when I'm helping organizations identify right fit candidates. We use it especially in developing staff members, leaders. It is a wonderful measure to help people see where they are right now in their willingness to embrace change. And then there are a number of other measures in the success factors or the outcomes in this assessment: decision-making, influence, community, network, satisfaction, achievement, health, balance. All of those come together to give a really good idea of where someone is right now in their life, in their work, and how effective, how much energy and vitality they can bring to their life, to the work, to whatever they're doing. This is a unique assessment in many ways, especially because it measures change readiness. These are critical success factors for leaders, and we're all leaders, even if we're only leading ourselves. So how can we leverage this leading through change approach to develop a pathway to success? Well, there is no growth without change. And I think we all know that. We've heard that before, but it's true. If we want to grow, if we want our organization to grow, then there has to be change. So individuals and organizations who want to grow need to be able to embrace change and see it as an opportunity that it is. That means being wise with which changes bring value and are worth the effort. So I want you to take a minute and consider the advantages of having this kind of deep insight for yourself or for other people. Maybe you're the leader of a team. Maybe you're a hiring manager. Maybe you're a stay-at-home parent managing your household and leading your family. Maybe you're between opportunities right now and trying to find the right fit opportunity. This information gives you the insight to make the best possible choices. When you develop these skills and the skills and competencies of emotional intelligence, there is a direct correlation between higher EQ scores and higher levels of success. It's been tested in individuals, it's been tested in managers, in leaders, and over again it proves out higher EQ scores equals higher success consistently. Doesn't work for everybody, I'm sure, but there sure is a lot of research that points to a direct correlation. We talked earlier about having a mindset around change. We looked at how we see change. Is it a problem or is it an opportunity? If it's a problem, if that's the way our mindset is and that's the way we see it, then you'll always be striving to overcome and probably experience loss of energy, loss of focus, and loss of effectiveness. However, if you see change as an opportunity, then the change may act to energize you and help you move forward. It may actually start to generate more energy for you and help you to accomplish what you want to. How does that happen? By creating a change-embracing mindset. And change is not easy. We know that. Some might be easy, but most change is not easy. But it can be highly beneficial. Creating a change-embracing mindset relies on your emotional intelligence. When it comes down to it, the primary resistance to change resides in emotional detractors. What are emotional detractors? Fear, anxiety, uncertainty, perceived loss, stress. And I'm sure there's many more. All of these are emotional responses to change. However, navigating your emotions will help you navigate change. Navigating emotions is a key competency of emotional intelligence. If you want to know more about that, I encourage you to Google emotional intelligence and learn more about it. You can go to our website at eqfit.org, figure it out there. There is a lot of really good information out there. Today we're focused on change and how we can better embrace change, how we can navigate change. Instead of feeling like we're bombarded all the time by all the changes that are coming at us, take control of your life. Take control of your work life and learn the skills that will help you navigate change and come out a winner. Thank you for joining us for this episode. If you have any questions about this week's episode, or maybe a suggestion for future episodes you'd like us to explore, please contact us through our website at eqfit.org. For more information and inspiration, connect with us on LinkedIn, Facebook, and YouTube at EQFit.